Hello again and welcome back to Broforce Broview. Today we are taking a look at Desperabro. Desperabro is based off of the Mariachi from the Desperado trilogy. So, the most important thing to note about this character is when you stand still and enter idle, you will start to strum on your guitar. If you notice the mecha enemy beside me, enemies within range will start to dance. When they dance, they enter this pacified state. So, as you can see here, even though I'm standing directly in front of him, he's too busy dancing to actually fight me. Another fact another thing that Desperabro can do is guitar slide. This is part of his dashing mechanic. It allows him to get a boost when dashing, and he can also stack it by dashing on multiple surfaces and jumping before he actually leaves his knees. However, he will eventually start running like a normal person. Now, when he's not playing his guitar, you might notice that he is wielding two weapons. These are two single-shot, sawed-off shotguns. You'll see that they have a very short range. However, they each shoot 5 rounds, and these 5 rounds do moderate power or moderate damage. They also happen one after the other, giving them a little bit of a 1-2 punch, if you will. As a shotgun, you'll notice that they hit both above and below you, allowing you a little bit of mobility, both vertical mobility, both up and down. For a melee weapon, he hits people with his guitar, a good old El Kabong. And for his special, he summons homies. When he summons homies, enemies on the screen will instantly start to play or start to dance, regardless of their location. And at the end of it, you will have a shockwave bounce. You can move around during it and activate the shockwave bounce early by attacking or using the special power again. So, generally, whenever you're playing with any character, as I've stated a number of times before, when messing with a mecha, the quickest and most efficient way to deal with them almost every time, and in this case, is to take it over and then either use it or dump it. Obviously, it still works out great. But while we're here, we can examine a little bit of funness with this guitar. So, if you crouch down, you do not play your guitar. That includes if you get into a cramped location. However, you can play your guitar from from ladders. This means that even if you're going up and down a ladder, you could take a moment, take a breath, and allow enemies to put themselves into a pacified state. Now, when it comes to destroying things like this mook door, do take a step back. You are a very short-ranged shotgunner, so you'll want to take a step back, but you're able to deal with it without any major issues. Now comes the fun part. So, dogs. They sit down and listen to the music. When they're aggressive, your shotgun is fast enough to be able to take them out without any major issue. And one thing you'll notice is that your shotgun does hit dead bodies. That is something to keep in mind, because that means that a dead body can prevent you from, well, hitting a living body. As you can see here, the large dog also dances. And you can see you can actually move. Or as you can see, you can move around. The time it takes for them to finish their dance is actually less time than it takes for you to pull back out your guitar, giving you the ability to move around a little bit without disturbing their pacified state. Now, one thing I would suggest is you might want to start dancing from a higher location and then moving inwards. So, for example, with this heavy you saw the first time, he actually got alerted and attacked me before I could pull out my guitar. So, to prevent that risk, a little bit slower is more than possible. That being said, you're able to make very quick work of heavy units and heavy mooks, so feel free to just unload. Against large groups, as you can see, you have a shotgun, they shoot relatively rapidly, so you're able to take out and clear large groups of enemies without any major hassles. With your special ability, as you can see, you do knock enemies into a pacified state almost immediately. So it can be used as an oh fuck card, but on top of that, as your song ends, if there is an enemy in range, your band will actually go through and, well, open fire. One of them has a machine gun, and the other one has a rocket launcher. As you can see here, there is a little bit of weirdness when it comes to playing the music and who is affected and who isn't. But, as you can see from this door, I have a mook door here. The mook door is on steel, so it will never be destroyed. But, as you can see, the band is able to just open fire. One thing to note, the band is actually targetable. So if I place the band here, they can actually be hit, though they are unlikely to be. And since they can be hit, they can be killed. That being said, it is still a nice ability to be able to drop them down and just watch them hold a space down, especially during a boss fight. Now, as for mooks, or the binocular mooks, you will notice they have their own dance animation. But one thing to note, while a single blast of your shotgun will kill them, your range is so short that even across this small gap, you can still just not hit your target. Another thing to note is here we have shielders. Even though the shield bearers are dancing, they still mechanically have their shields. But you are a high-speed shotgun, you are able to juggle them without too much of an issue. Against normal mooks in groups, just be aware that your shotgun blasts or rounds will hit living targets to kill them, and then dead bodies to explode the body. Meaning that it can actually use up more ammunition, or you could waste ammunition hitting the same guy multiple times as opposed to killing more targets. So even if you're, jumping right into the middle of the combat, you do need to keep aware and keep your eyes open. For a melee attack, you hit somebody with your guitar. It happens fast and quick, and it one-shots most standard enemies, and his throw is very basic. Now, here's where we get into a little bit of gold. Your shotgun blast is capable of digging both up and down. This is something that only a handful of bros are capable of doing. Obviously, whenever you destroy a block, the block above it will go down. But the ability to choose to go down is, well, amazing. It's a good thing to have, and a nice ability. You can go up, you can go down. The only real downside with digging is your range is so short that even across small gaps, you're not able to preempt your digging, which can lead to some danger, though not always. That being said, there is one more thing I would like to show about this bro. Alright, so now, as you can see, I now have a second player in. And as my, well, player 1 is playing his music, you can see I can just kind of come in here and open fire. At the same time, we'll go through and you can see the two characters both up against the back wall. If they dash, you'll see that the Desperabro is able to move faster due to his slide. Sorry, it's a little weird controlling two characters at once. But as you can see, I can just kind of come in here and open fire. And they just don't care. So, with that, his ability to dash and move faster due to his slide, his amazing combat abilities, his digging being, well, his digging being a high rank, though the short range is definitely going to hamper it. I'm thinking, just for ranking wise, combat, I'm definitely thinking an A+ to an S-. For digging, sadly, like, I want to give him an A in digging, but I think I'm going to have to go for an A-. The slide for his mobility definitely gives him A+ to S potential. However, his special is definitely an double S, maybe even a triple S. The ability to just say, fuck it, everybody on the screen is now stunned, and then after that, I have friends that can just open fire and lock down an entire area. That is amazing. Not to mention it applies a stun effect. At the same time, his ability to just kind of sit there for a moment and idle and just turn off enemy AI is amazing. Like, I'm trying to think of other words to say, but it's just, for what he is able to do, I do think that Desperabro is the best bro in the game. He has amazing combat potential. His digging is a little bit short, but he's a fast digger. He just has a short range, which his mobility makes up for. He has great mobility. He has an amazing special, and he has some powerful co-op abilities. So, because of that, I mean, I've just got to say that he's a S, possibly multi-S level character, and yeah, he's just seems to be the strongest character in the entire game. And since Forever seems to be the final update for Broforce, I don't think he's ever going to not be the strongest bro in the game. That being said, I hope that this was able to answer some questions for you on how Desperabro plays, and have fun.